Have you seen the Asian carp situation where they are just so Asian carp are invasive species? The Mississippi River is
that
90% Asian carp now. All the other everything else is dead, and they get agitated very easily. So if a boat is in the water, they jump out of the water in mass, and they can weigh like 60 fucking pounds. So people have died. People get hit regularly. The boats there have these big cages around them, like coke cages in the Ukrainian war, but for Asian carp. And so in response, all sorts of I've seen people shoot them with shotguns. They go out there and they're blowing them up with shotguns in the air. I've seen people shoot them with bows, and they're trying to keep them out of the Great Lakes. So there's this like lock system that connects the Great Lakes to the Mississippi, and they have it electrified. They have and the barges and stuff with people in them have to pass through these electrified locks, and it's like everyone has to go inside the boat. No one can be on the outside of the boat because if you fall in, it'll kill you. It's and what else were they doing? They had like sound barriers, electricity, and something else. So they were looking into CO2, like all sorts of things, just to like not allow one single Asian carp get into the Great Lakes. And I'm thinking like, some piece of shit's gonna throw some Asian carp in the Great Lakes to be a piece of shit. Like that's there's some Chinese guy over here right now starting fires in California and throwing Asian carp by the bundle.
I bring them down slowly.
Regis called him carp.
In my country, they are just carp.
Are they good to eat, Asian carp?
No,
apparently they're very they're fine to eat, but I guess they're very bony. And so it's a pain in the ass to fillet them compared to a lot of fish. But all this talk about the Mississippi being full of Asian carp reminds me of that meme story where Missouri has one shark attack on record of someone was swimming in the Mississippi and got fucked up by a bull shark that had just like, I guess, made its way. Bull shark are like
that's the Jaws story. They went inland into New Jersey through those brackish waters and channels, and they were very far inland. Like when the Jaws based shark attack happened in Jersey, it was crazy how far in there. Bull sharks in particular can tolerate very brackish, bordering upon freshwater.
Yeah, how about that? They're like the utilitarian fish. They can survive in more.
But Missouri is not Louisiana, Mississippi. Like that's north a bit. That must be freshwater by there.
I have no idea how that worked, but I know if you look at like shark attacks by state, it's like Florida over 500, California over 500, and then it's like, how the fuck is Missouri a shade of light pink? Like there's states upon states between us in every direction. Like you'd literally have to go to the zoo and jump in a tank to get attacked by a shark in Missouri, but I guess not. I guess some poor little kid got fucked up.
In that video there, they're shooting Asian carp with the 12-gauge shotguns out of their boat because again, the motorboat agitates the fish and they just leap out of the water like crazy. And there's millions of them. It's crazy.
He is not making a dent in this fish population with his gun.
No.
Are you not interested at all in a mantis shrimp? I know it comes with its own particular challenges, and you would want to keep it its own little deal though. Like I just like the idea of I watched this YouTuber who has a mantis shrimp, and he also has this other predatory fish, and they live together in almost a work together.
I don't know him personally. I know their content.
Yeah, it's good. He's like, my mantis shrimp, Bobby, kills everything his eyes land upon, but he tolerates Jimmy. I think that maybe him and Jimmy are working together because Jimmy will flush out these little fish that try to hide and kind of show. And it's like they were kind of working together to kill the bait fish he's throwing in there.
That other fish he has, I think it's a damsel. Damsels get like 1 and 1.5 inches. And they will bully 8-inch fish. Now you would think an 8-inch fish is 8 times bigger than a 1-inch fish. Rethink that. It's
a shark.
An 8-inch fish probably weighs like 100 times what a 1-inch fish weighs. The difference is just huge. And the little damsels bully them. So I feel like that damsel is not the pushover you might think it is because it's baby goldfish size, but it's actually a pretty aggressive, mean fish that's perfect for it. So, yeah, there's one of those at the store. They say the mantis shrimp can break the glass aquarium it's in because they hit at, is it 200 miles an hour? Am I exaggerating? How fast a mantis?
I think it's fast. I think it's faster than that. They hit incredibly fast or hard or something.
Holy cow!
They have this like prey mantis sort of punch they do, and they don't hit with their hands. They hit with the shock wave of the water, and it has like a 1.5 inch range or something. So they'll get near like a hermit crab and break its shell and eat the insides by just punching the water, which water doesn't compress. You know how that works, and it hits the shell and breaks it. And it makes a loud clicking sound like in the room. You can hear it. And the fear is they could do that to the glass. But even though everyone knows they can do it, I've never known anyone who's ever seen it happen.
Okay.
So I don't know what's true. It might be there with the female orgasm, like just a myth.
That's it. They
bullshit.
Until I see one, I won't buy it.
So you have a big saltwater tank?
Yeah, big. So my bigger one is 150 gallons with like another 60 underneath, and the smaller one is 25.
Now, how complicated is the water chemistry to maintain them?
That's like the hobby to me. Like I have an automated tester that tests it 4 or 6 times a day, and I watch how it's doing all the time. And my the dosing I put into it, which is like, I don't know, calcium chloride, sodium hydroxide, and calc phos or whatever that is, magnesium. I could go on. It reacts to those test results. So if something's a little high, it backs off a bit. If something's a little low, it kicks it up a bit and keeps my chemistry in check. For me, like maintaining water chemistry is kind of the hobby. Like I'm chemistry. My wife, she's livestock. So she really likes all the fish and the corals and watches it like super closely. And I kind of watch the numbers, and like we have a software and like it's a little website that shows us the chemistry on our 2 different tanks. And I check those out like all the time. I have it on my phone.
And do you share water between the tanks? Does it circulate?
No. As a matter of fact, right now, the bigger tank corals are dying. And I think there's like a pathogen in it or something. So we make really sure not to cross contaminate as best we can. If we move something from one tank to the other, we dip it in, some sort of medicine. Could be hydrogen peroxide, could be iodine, but we make sure that they're sanitized before they switch tanks.
Has your love for the hobby waxed still in it all, or waned?
When I got sick, I sort of like backed off the tank a little bit, and then I re-engaged in the last 10 days or so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to fish, but I think I said it last week. I've been watching one of those YouTube channels where they've got like a bunch of little goats and sheep and stuff, and like a miniature, like not a real farm, but like a pretend farm. I kind of want a pretend farm situation. I kind of want some. And this other YouTuber, dude, he uses goats as pack animals. So he's got these little like vests that strap onto his goats, like over their back, like a dog harness. And he's like got all this gear on his goats. And he's like, reason number 1 why the goat is a superior pack animal. Lightning strikes, predator comes around, horse will run 10 miles from you back to home. The goat run straight to you. They're pack animals, and you are their protection. It's like one short after another. Reason number 37 why the goat is a horse cannot give you milk. It's like on and on. And I'm like, this dude loves his goats, and he's got this whole pack of goats, and with these fucking backpacks on, running around in the wilderness with him. It's great.
Have you seen the Florida?
Now, Woody, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you lived by the ocean and you wanted to keep a saltwater tank in your house, could you use fresh ocean or canal water to replenish it constantly without much maintenance?
Constantly, I mean, I guess, yeah, but they do that in Australia. The norm, they all live by the water. The norm is for them to just buy salt water from the ocean, and they test it and ship it to you. So it's that easy. I know a guy in Florida who's a real expert. He's PhD in this stuff. And he also just uses fresh water he lives in like a there's a canal, like a bay behind him. And he just takes it from back there. But it's kind of risky because sometimes, you know, you get like a concentration of not so great water and you put that in your tank and everything does poorly. But it can be done.
Okay. Because I mean, like SeaWorld was that way, right? Like they just piped it in directly from the ocean. I assume they still do. And it's just, they don't have a water maintenance protocol necessarily. They check it, but they're
they filter it too. But it does beg the question: am I using that correctly?
Sure.
That like, why do they even filter it? Wouldn't it be better to just change it even more? Like you've got the ocean there. Why are you running ginormous protein skimmers and such?
Right, just in and out. Right.
Yeah, you know, in theory, it seems like it'd be cheaper to replace, I don't know, a quarter of the water daily than it would be to filter it and maintain it.
Sure,
but
sure.
I don't know why SeaWorld does it the way they do, but yeah, hobbyists do get water from the ocean in some places.
Because to me, that's a fun novelty, the idea of a big saltwater tank. But I think if you like fish, you'll love a snake because it's, you know, you can get it out and play with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it bites.
Fish of the land.
I have a fish that loves to be hand fed. That's something.
That's kind of cool.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
you get a sea snake. Although I don't think there are any sea snakes that aren't like unbelievably dangerous, right?
Yeah, seems like most of them are very venomous, or at least that's what
very venomous, not very dangerous.
Yeah.
So very like
they're all rear fanged. They can't bite bodies.
Really?
Yeah.
My only fish that likes to be pet is venomous, but he's really sweet.
He's coaxing you into a state of relaxation.
Dude, venomous fish are the best because they're not
bright.
They're not aggressive. Like like I have a little, he's a yellow striped fish, you wouldn't care. But anytime someone picks on him, he just faces them and he's like, do you really want to do this? And they're like, never mind. And he doesn't have to like run around and prove his superiority all the time. He's like, you want to deal with these fangs? And they're like, no, change my mind. The big one wouldn't get picked on probably just because of his size, but he has venom coming out of his spines, like his dorsal fin. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
But, yeah, I like.
Is it a thing that angelfish are like invading Florida reefs? Like the ones, the spiny, flowery ones that I see guys on Instagram, whatever.
Lionfish are invading reefs all over the world. Funny. Yeah, they're a invasive species, and everywhere I know of, you're allowed to kill lionfish.
They got these modified Glocks. They're down there popping them with a pistol.
Really?
Yeah.
Zach, can you show a picture of a lionfish?
Can you eat these, Woody? Are they useful at all?
You can eat them, but it takes a little knowledge to deal with them because they're venomous.
And they're spiny. They don't look like a fish that you would eat.
You know who eats them? The sailing la vagabond people catch them and eat them all the time.
So they're venomous, but not poisonous.
Yeah, the venom is, I think it's in the spines.
You know what's worse than these are those Asian carp.
Oh man, I just saw the guy's hand there. I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze on these things. That would be so annoying with a little fillet knife to get 4 bites of food.
Well, yeah, but I think they're not that hard to catch with a what's the harpoon gun called? Is it
spear?
You know, the underwater divers would use it. Is it called a harpoon?
I think you're harpoon.
I just got it right. Okay, that was lucky.
They've got a modified Glock situation where you can
for Woody on the harpoon gun.
So anyway, I think they're easy to catch with harpoon. They're not fast swim. They just sort of sit there as stationary targets, and people like to kill them and eat them.